You guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. This DIY today is gonna be quick and dirty. We're getting in and out really fast. It's almost gonna feel like a live DIY. And that is because I have never been so busy in my entire life. It's really awesome, but holy cow, you guys. ROCKNOT is going insanely well. It's the holidays, holiday gifting, pop-up shops, Black Friday. Like, it's been insane and so awesome, but holy cow, has it been busy. And I am putting the final touches on the Style Language online course, which is going to be available, opened up for pre-sale in like a week or two. And so it's a insane amount of editing. This is not your average, like, I recorded a Zoom and turned it into an online course. This is like a fully produced, beautifully shot, majorly edited, tons of content online course. I shot like 14 videos that look like this, and then there's about 3 to 4 styling videos, plus all of my other styling content in a library. There's quizzes and Q&As and journal prompts, and it's a lot, but man, by the time it's done, you guys are gonna know your very own custom style language, which is so powerful as you guys continue DIYing, as you continue just styling yourself every day. I'm really excited. For those of you that have no clue what I'm talking about, my name's Orly. This is the DIY designer. I do really, really fun DIY fashion content, sometimes home decor, and lots of personal styling content. Really, my whole sort of thought process is that our style is a language. It is a form of communication, and its sole purpose is to communicate who you truly are, for it to be completely individual and unique to you. And that's why I love DIY, and that's why I love style language, and it all really beautifully connects. Now, let's talk about today's DIY. I've been very, head deep in ROCKNOT stuff, so I thought, should we ROCKNOT our shoes? Eventually, shoes will be in the collection, I think, but for now, I figured we can DIY them together, and it'll be super fun. So what you need: boots. You can use shoes, you can do sneakers, actually, whatever you want. I'm doing boots. Then you need your rhinestone cording. I would recommend either 3, 4, or 5 millimeter. I'm gonna be using hot glue today. That is normally not what I would recommend for a project like this. Usually I would say E6000. If you're thinking this is like a way to holiday-ify your boots and then you want them back, I would use something like hot glue, and I would use it sparingly so you can kind of pull it off when you're done. Otherwise, if you know for sure you wanna keep it, do E6000. Okay. Let's get into it. All right, so here are the motorcycle boots I'm gonna do. I've had these boots forever. They're ratted, but they're really cool and I love them. They seem perfect. So first thing we're gonna do is just remove the old laces so that we can put in the new laces. Take your original lace and just use it as a guide to cut your cording. These laces are actually longer than I always wanted them to be, so I'm cutting my rhinestone cording about 4 inches shorter than my lace so that it's better length. Now, use the first one as a guide for the second, so you have 2 identical laces. You're gonna find the center so that you can now lace them up, making sure that everything is nice and even. Now, the way you lace them up is totally up to you. You can create cool patterns and cool designs. What I decided to do was the version where it goes up over the top and then in. I just always think that this shows more of the lace, so if it's a lace that you like or a contrasting color, I always think that this particular way of lacing up your shoes is better because it sort of shows it off. Except for the last loop. The very last grommet, you're actually gonna put it through the backside because we're gonna tie a bow and we want the laces to come out the front. So that last one's gonna be different. Now at this point, you wanna decide how you're gonna do it. Are you gonna tie a knot or are you gonna tie a bow? Because we're gonna put on these little end caps and we need to know whether we need to trim the lace or not. I decided to go for the bow, which meant that the lace that I had already created was perfect, the right length. So I'm gonna take out 2 of my little end caps. You just wanna get the right size based off the size cording that you decided to do. So whatever size cording, get a little end cap that's gonna match it. You can either put hot glue or E6000, whichever one is totally gonna work. Doesn't matter whether it's temporary or not. Now it was time to line the sole of the shoe, and I was debating between doing a matching 4 millimeter or going with a 3 millimeter. Originally, I thought I liked the way the more delicate version looked, but after I did it, I ended up ripping it off and putting on the bigger version. Same with the glue. Originally, I thought that the hot glue was gonna be a good temporary version, but with the material of my boots, it didn't even hold at all. Like, it just peeled right off. So depending on the fabric that your boots are actually made out of, hot glue might work, or you might need to do E6000, totally up to you. I am going in with E6000. Now, the most important thing when you guys are doing this is that you're using a thin line of glue and that the glue is going on the actual shoe. Do not put it on the sole, the rubber part of the shoe, or it's not gonna hold. It needs to go on like the leather or the sort of fabric part of the boot. Put it on there and then drop your cording on. You're gonna work in sections, so I would do like 6 inches of one boot, leave it off to the side to set up a little bit, grab the next boot, do the next one, and then just meet them right in the middle until the seam disappears and just let them dry. Now we're gonna move on to these guys. Any boot that you have with that little loop in the back is gonna work for this. Even heels, if you wanna take out the strap on a heel and do this, it totally works. So I'm looping it through and around the shoe, and this is when you're deciding how long you want it. It depends on how many times you can loop it through, which depends on the size of your cording and the size on the little loop on the back, also the aesthetic that you like. This is totally custom and one of a kind to you, so really just play around with it. Once I figured out the right length, I unraveled it so that I could cut 2 identical pieces. Now I'm just looping it through and kind of finagling and fine tuning the length so that I have, I sort of have like a natural graduation between each of them. I wanted to do a little knot tassel on the end. Now to do a really pretty knot, you tie it like you normally would, but if let's say you go right over left, then the next one you do left over right, and it creates that really pretty knot that stays in place and looks decorative, which is great. We're gonna put the little end cap on these guys and then we're done. Okay, guys, that is it. I'm super stoked. I think they came out amazing. I am gonna put them in the sun so you guys can see how insanely they sparkle, because while the light is really great and bright in here, it is flat, so you don't get any of that amazing sparkle and texture that this material has in real life. But I think that this is such a fun way to like rock knot your boots, and it's giving me a lot of inspiration for ways that I'm potentially gonna expand rock knot down the road. If this was your first video, I hope that you guys will subscribe. I'm working so hard to get DIY content out consistently. In addition to all the amazing stuff I have going on, it's been really exciting. But this community and this channel really, really means a lot to me. And so I thank you so much for all of you guys continuing to support me. And make sure that you keep an eye out for Style Language. It is such a beautiful process, and really it's all about unlocking your true and authentic personal style. It's all about self-acceptance, and I would love to go on that journey with each and every one of you. So keep an eye. Hopefully in about a week or so it will be open for pre-sale. Okay, thanks guys.
Oh, I feel so alive as I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. 'Cause I found my way.